Welcome to the Business Buyer Diaries. My name is Nathan Platter. I'm a full-time employee, and I bought a business. I did everything right, from finding the deal, handling all the due diligence on 63 opportunities, and ultimately bought a profitable gym. And boy, was I in for a big surprise as a new owner. I chronicled everything in real time, including the biggest wins to the stressful nights at 2 a.m. I'm sharing my journey without sugarcoating anything, so you don't make the same mistakes that I did. Here's today's episode.
So kind of a different story today, but it'll relate back to buying a business and that acquisition process. I was meeting with someone at my day job yesterday because I'm a team lead for a data analytics group. And when people say, oh, I need some help researching why this part of the company is doing well, or people from like marketing will say, oh, why are we overspending on our budgets? And so we get a lot of tickets or a lot of requests to the data team. And I'm in charge of putting together our intake process, staying organized and having a good flow. So I was meeting with a team lead of another department similar to what we do. And I was just asking, like, how do we empower our users? How do we have a good team culture? And like, we don't overwork and we don't double work ourselves, and we're stay organized and functional, and we don't just overrun people with things. And he made an interesting comment on this team lead that I was talking to. He's actually on an H-1B visa. So he grew up in India, went to college in India, got a job here in the U.S. He's not a citizen, but he's able to work for a U.S. company living in the U.S., but he has to get sponsored by the company. And something that he told me that was fascinating is for his situation, if he were to get laid off or fired or whatever from my employer, then he has 60 days, 60, to find a new job, or else he has to go back to India. And so that was kind of surprising, but he only has 60 days, and he's been in the U.S. for over 10 years, which shocked me. He could grow up in the U.S. and have 10 or 15 years of work experience, but in the drop of a hat, he could be told he has to go back to India, where he may not have friends or family anymore. And so it really was a shocker, like how good we have it as a U.S. citizen, whether you're an employee or a business owner. If you get fired or let go, like, you have your friends, you have family, you have coworkers if you're still in good terms with people, you have established connections where you don't have to move and pack across the country. He told me, like, buying a house is risky. Buying a car can be a little bit dangerous because you'd have to liquidate everything if you can't find a job in 2 months, which is insanely fast. A typical hiring cycle for IT is a couple months usually. And so you have to live in this constant like anxiety and that constant worry that like, it could all go away. And he told me, like, yeah, man, like, I just realized I can't live in that like that, like being stressed out all the time, like doing great work and getting good results. The company could still implode and you suffer from it. And so for him, it was stress management. He told me that if it happens, it's going to happen, and do the best you can. And part of that is like pushing back on things and not just taking everything people ask of you and being afraid that you're going to get pushed out socially or whatever. And that was really helpful to hear. Like, I tend to stress myself out. I sign up for too much. I take on too many things, and it comes from a spot of people pleasing and trying to make sure people like me and that they're going to give credence to what I have to say. But at the end of the day, that's not going to really serve me. And so ultimately I need to be able to say, I disagree with something, push back on things I don't buy into, and hold my ground on things, because that's what he's learned, and that's something that I'm learning, and I want to get better at as well. But then also realizing, like, living in the U.S., we have it so good. Even if you have a bad credit score, you have no money in the bank, you have lots of people needing you to pay them back, whatever. Like, you're in the United States. You live in a great country. You have opportunities galore around you. You have people that believe in you, and like, it's just crazy, like how good we have it. And if you hit rock bottom, you still have got your country that's going to keep you. You're not going to get shipped out to a country you haven't been to in 10 or 15 years. So that was my takeaway. Kind of surprising, but even if this whole business acquisition thing fails, I declare bankruptcy, the businesses implode, all the staff are let go, like we still have our families, we still have our places that we live. We have to rent or we have to downgrade living, but like we've got it so good, man. And so it just really hit me that as an employee, you're subject to somebody else providing that safety. And if you're a business owner, you're still subject to somebody else providing you the bank loan, the real estate, clean water, your staff and your clients buying from you or your customers. But at the end of the day, like you have a little bit more control over your personal destiny. And that just really hit me. So it's scary to buy a business and like put a lien on my house and to put the 401k money on the line. But at the end of the day, like it's scarier to be on an H-1B visa than it is to be a business owner. So that's where I'm at today, and kind of put things into perspective that I'm not really risking as much as I could be buying a business. And it's in perspective. H-1B is definitely risky. Buying a business is risky. Being an employee is risky. But what are the risks and rewards that you want? Because the rewards can be fantastic being a business owner. The risks can be equally scary, but the rewards are also fantastic, and you can provide that safety for your team as well. So that's all I got for today. Hopefully some food for thought.
This has been another episode of the Business Buyer Diaries. Subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. I hope you're realizing that business ownership is no cakewalk. Check the podcast notes for a link to the DIY due diligence program, the complete list of show sponsors, and for media inquiries. Music written and composed by Wes Schrock. I'm your host, Nathan Platter. Join me again on the next one.